Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. We are live. This is Real Talk with Mary Grace. I'm Mary Grace, and you are on Mary Grace Media. Come on in. As you're coming in, please say hello. We are streaming on CloutHub, Facebook, and YouTube. And I welcome everybody here today. Good to see you. Good to have everybody here. Hello. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. We actually had the sun come out today, so that was great. I see everybody coming in on YouTube. I see everybody coming in on Facebook. And so something interesting has happened on Facebook and YouTube. They figured out we're here. So I'm going to need your help getting this out and getting it spread far and wide because they've put the governor on. And so if you belong to groups on Facebook, please share in groups that you belong to. If you have any people that you want to share this with on YouTube, please do that. And when you come back to watch the replay on YouTube, please put comments in put comments in the in the replay on YouTube as well. And then also the same thing on Facebook. So if you start conversations or if you reply to somebody on Facebook, it actually shows up in your feed. So that's another way that we get this out. And obviously the censorship is going pretty strong. And so I do appreciate everybody sharing this out. When you come to the channel, make sure that you hit the thumbs up on the video, hit the hearts, and then subscribe and turn on your notifications as well so that you don't miss an episode. When you're on CloutHub, click watch now and then click subscribe and put in your email. You won't get spam. You'll just get notifications when I go live. So thank you everybody for doing that. Thank you to everybody who has helped grow the channel and grow Mary Grace Media. I really appreciate all of you being here and watching. You are going to hear a little bit of noise in the background because our kitten has decided that he wants to be near me today. And so he's not napping, he's playing. And he found something kind of noisy to play with. So that's what you hear if it sounds like weird noises. That's the kitten, that's Barley. So that's just, home studio. And it's good to see everybody here. Before I go on, I do want to say that we are, I mentioned yesterday at the end of the show that we're starting a new transformation coaching for the superfoods. And so if you are one of those people who's either doing superfoods or you're thinking about starting, this is a great time to start and to get more information and to get a voucher so that you can save $100 or more off of your full month of superfoods transformation. And there's a lot of things that we offer as well. So if you don't want to do a complete transformation and you just want some meal replacements, or you want to stock up on really good, sustainable, non-GMO, organic, green superfoods, you can do that as well. So please message me, info@marygracemedia.com, and make sure you get your voucher so you can get your order in and start with us. We have a private coaching group. We do coaching calls, and we also have some really good recorded calls that you can access. And you can only do that when you become a customer through my voucher. And then we have a private Telegram group, and we have a private Facebook group if you're still on Facebook. So it's really good. It's really great value. And people have just given me rave reviews. And I'll talk about it a little more at the end, but I did want to let you know. Because here's the thing, you either invest in your health or you pay a big doctor bill down the road. So either way, there's payment coming out. Yeah, so the Jen on Facebook. Hey Jen, good to see you. So yeah, the coaching calls are really good. You need to get in the Telegram room because we have the recordings of those calls on there and they're also in the Facebook group. So we'll come back to that, but hit me up after the show and we can chat. Okay, he's playing with his toy. So he lost it under the stove. Okay. Now moving on. Hey Marissa, good to see everybody. I wanted to just talk about kind of just take the pulse and see how everybody's feeling. I know that there's a lot of there's just everybody's sort of kind of came crashing down after we didn't see anything dramatic happen last week, and it's been a whole week since they installed this person in the White House. I'm not even sure he's in the White House because I was talking to somebody who told me that that her friend has been monitoring the White House webcam, and the White House has been really dark. And I don't know if you all have seen that. I've seen some things going around about that, but I didn't really give it much credence because I wasn't sure of the origin of the videos or of how how recent it was. But so this person is monitoring the webcam in real time. People thought that the webcam went down, but it actually is still working. And one of the things that you may recall from the time that the president was in the White House is that the residence lights were always on. And does somebody know the link to the White House webcam? If you can post it in the chat on YouTube and Facebook, that would be great, and Clout Hub. So it's very interesting. Yeah, people are feeling. I mean, how are you feeling? So some people. So Anne says, waiting in anticipation for God to show up with a bang. Um, yeah, exactly. We are waiting in anticipation. The thing that Marissa is saying is that things are just not normal, and I would agree. And one of the things that I'm starting to sense is that, and I'm starting to get a feeling about this, is that whatever happens is going to be whatever, like, nothing that people expect. That is what I think is I think that's what's going to happen. I think that when it happens, it's going to be what nothing, yeah, nothing that anybody expects. And so what are some of the anomalies that y'all are seeing? I feel like um I feel like, okay, there's the one thing that I see, like today, all the trading platforms were down. It wasn't just one of them. So E-Trade, what are some other ones? Charles Schwab, all of the online trading platforms. If you Googled it and you put, you Google trading platforms down. Earlier today, it was like all of Google was telling you that the trading platforms were down. Do you remember when that has happened in the past? I mean, isn't that strange that happened? I just think it's a little bit odd. So that's one thing. And I actually, somebody just said they didn't know if the trading platforms was true. I yeah, I didn't know either because I saw a screenshot, but I saw article after article about it. And it was, it wasn't just one platform. It wasn't just E-Trade. It was quite a number of platforms that were down. Pat is saying that Vegas won't pay out on election results yet. So that's interesting too. One of the things that Juan O'Savin has said from the very start, if you've listened to him, I don't listen to a lot of people who are out there, putting out their theories, but I do listen to him because he's been pretty consistent from the start. And what he has said is he wouldn't even imagine any bets closing before April 1st. And that's the day that he believes that the Democrats and the deep state are going to be made into fools, that they're going to be revealed for the fools that they are. Now, I'm not putting out a hard date. I'm just telling you that he's saying, uh, hold your bets until, yeah, just hold your bets and don't don't put stock by dates. A lot of people were really disappointed last week. I get that. But I think that it's interesting that he's saying that, right? And so here's some other things. I just found out that the president, and remember, the only president that I will refer to is Donald J. Trump. That's our president. Uh, the president is meeting tomorrow, reportedly, with McCarthy, with Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader, the congressional minority leader. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Down at Mar-a-Lago. I think that's interesting. The president is meeting with Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader at Mar-a-Lago, but I thought there was another president. I just think that's interesting. So there's one thing to think about. Uh, Another thing, yeah, that is news, isn't it? It was on Breaking 911 and it was on NBC. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out. Uh, the other thing that I think somebody said that they thought the trading platforms were down because of the E-Trade thing. I don't think it was, I mean, because of the GameStop thing. I don't think it was just because of that. When I read the headlines, it was more like they didn't really know. People weren't sure. Uh okay. Something about Mike Flynn's brother. Yes. So Mike Flynn's brother was appointed general, I think, over a pretty big area. I think Atlantic coast area. I don't have the details on that, but yeah, General Flynn's brother. So I think that's kind of interesting. What else? Okay, here's something in the natural, but that's also considered supernatural. Did you guys know that it snowed in Arizona? Now, Arizona does get snow, but people who don't normally get snow were 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 reporting snow like in the high desert areas of Arizona, not necessarily all the way up to Sedona or the Grand Canyon. So that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so General Flynn's brother is Charles Flynn. Um, so um, that's kind of interesting, right? That they're getting snow. And then the other thing, did Dallas get snow? You know where else they got snow? They got snow in California, but not in not uh Tahoe, right? Tahoe gets tons of snow, but they got snow up in Redding. They're getting snow and they're getting these massive, insane uh they're getting massive, crazy amounts of snow and storms in California. A friend of mine said that they live up near Vacaville, and they said that the storms, the wind and the rain, they said they've never experienced anything like that. That it was quote biblical. So I think this is interesting because God actually reveals himself through weather. And there was actually a lot of hail in Jerusalem a couple of days ago. So isn't that interesting? So, there's just anomalies like that. hmm so people on YouTube were telling me in the SoCal mountains that they were getting snow. Yeah, so places that they don't normally get snow. That's what I'm saying. So further down, not just in the mountains, that people are getting snow. And so I just think it's really interesting. One of the things that I've always known, um, one of the things that I've always known is that when God shows up, a lot of times He does it through rain. And the Bible even says that in Hosea. It says, "So let us know, let us press on to know the Lord, and He will come to us like the rain, like the gentle rain watering the earth." And I've always had that as a sense of just the presence of God. Cindy in Arizona said they do get snow in the mountains. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand that. So Flagstaff and things like that, they do get snow. But I'm hearing reports of snow from people who are at lower elevations. So that's the anomaly. So Martha is in Redding, and she said we had Snowmageddon 2.0 last night. See, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I know the Grand Canyon gets snow. I've actually been there in the snow. So I do know that. But it's just very interesting. And we haven't had snow here in Virginia where I live. We've had like a little bit of slush, but we haven't actually had snow. So it just people can say it's all coincidence. They can say, whatever. But God really does reveal himself in weather. And somebody just said it snowed in Springfield, Missouri, uh, Pasadena, Ontario, California. brief sprinkling of snow. That's really interesting. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's unusual. Snow near Phoenix. When does it snow in Phoenix? Right? It's just it's crazy. Okay. I just think that's crazy. You know what else is crazy? And some of you know this, but apparently a lot of people don't know this. Um, that did you know that if you type in antifa.com, try it and see where it goes? It's just very interesting. What is the symbology? I don't know exactly what the symbology of all of it is, but I haven't really gotten a revelation about that. But with all the weather, but I will say that when things start to manifest like that, when we have interesting weather patterns and anomalies, that you should pay attention, because that's the way that God starts waking people up and getting their attention. If you ever saw that movie about Noah's Ark, what was that movie with Jim Carell? Shoot, what was it called? The one with Morgan Freeman, and he built the ark, and God kept speaking to him through his alarm clock, and he kept seeing the same numbers all over and again. And he finally looked up the verse in the Bible, and it was about building the ark. Do you remember that? And Steve Carell, thank you. I haven't watched it in so long, but it's an interesting thing, because God does use those things. He uses numbers, and he uses repeated things to get your attention. So if you're seeing the same number all over and over again, if you're seeing interesting weather patterns, if you're seeing all of that stuff, I think it was Evan Almighty, or Evan. That was the first one. It was a different one. Was that the second one? Okay. Uh, yeah. So here's the other thing that I think is interesting. So if you're that guy that they installed in the White House, and you legit won the election, and you really believed that Trump was gone, that he was finished, that he had no more impact, that he had no more effect, wouldn't you just kind of take it easy and, like, sort of spread out your activities and not try to destroy America in just 1 week? Wouldn't you take your time destroying America? I mean, would why would you go scorched earth in 7 days if you really thought and believed that you had this in the bag? I don't understand that. Doesn't that seem odd to you? That you made it that far, you supposedly got sworn in, you have the most powerful position in the world, and you spend your first 7 days writing executive orders and cutting thousands of jobs, and uh, taking people's livelihoods away, and pissing off pretty much all of our allies, and getting us back into wars. 7 days, not even 7 full days. Like, if you really believed you won, wouldn't you kind of take your time and not make it so obvious that you're destroying the country? Doesn't this? I mean, I feel like we're witnessing Sherman's march on Atlanta. Just burn it all down. Isn't that what it seems like that's happening here? They just it's a really crazy situation. Yeah, maybe there is a bit of mania going on. It's manic, it's demonic. It's just, oh, here, give me some lighter fluid. Light a match over there. Wait, put a match over there. Okay, pour some more lighter fluid. Okay, that's a fire, right? Seriously, I mean, that's crazy. And then they have, he's admitted that he doesn't have any idea how to get a hold of the virus, which is probably the first true thing he's ever said, because it's like it's kind of a nothing burger, and it's all political anyway. So that's sort of like trying to grab air. Um, you know? So here's something else that's interesting. Okay, so if you won, if you if you really believe that you won and that you've got this and that you're going to hold on to your power for 8 years, if you live that long, why are you burning it all down? I mean, if this is the country that you say that you love and that you're going to govern, and that and if you okay, if you legit had 81 million voters, okay, if really, why would you piss them off? Why would you destroy their lives? Why? I mean, because I'm guessing that those alleged 81 million people have some of the jobs that you just destroyed by cutting the wall, by cutting the pipeline. And especially because people have been out of work because of the pandemic, and so you're going to just make it worse. You're going to double down on destruction and putting people into poverty as a way of thanking them for putting you in the White House. Is there anything logical about that? I'm serious. Like, I want to know if you voted for him, how are you feeling right now? If you voted for that person that they installed in the White House, I want to know. Please write to me and tell me how you're feeling about this man. So if you're on insulin and you voted for him and he just reversed the executive order that made your insulin affordable, please write to me and tell me how you feel and how you justify that. Please write to me if you work in the oil fields and you just got told that your job is ending in a month or yesterday, then tell me how you feel about that. Because, but the thing is, somebody just said it's punishment for those who voted for Trump. Well, then that means that they know that Trump got the most votes. Do you understand? Because if if they're doing this to punish people, then this is a tacit acknowledgement that most of America voted for Trump. Because why would you punish your voters were the if you were the majority, if your voters were in the majority, why would you be doing this? Is my logic off here? I want to know. If your people make up the majority of the voters, then why are you doing this to them? You're not. I mean, because if you think that Trump got the minority and that hardly anybody voted for him, and that the people that are whining are just making a lot of noise, then we're not the ones you're trying to punish. You're actually punishing your own constituents. I just think that's crazy. So that's something that really stands out, you know? Um, and he's looking really bad. Uh, yeah, just super bad because this is not how you reward 81 million people and their families who voted for you, because those 81 million people supposedly have children and families who can't vote, and those are the people that you're destroying. I don't get it. Can somebody explain that to me? Please, if you voted for him, if you voted for that person that's allegedly in the White House, even though the lights are out, please send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com, and tell me how you're feeling about this, because everything that he's done so far is punishing you. Suppose if you're one of the 81 million that they're telling us voted, I want to know who you are. I would love to see your house with your flag out front because I have yet to see one of those. And so, that uh, how is it that that worked out? And so now, what's going to happen? I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you that what we're seeing right now isn't normal. It's not normal. And so I am holding on to my belief that something is not right, that they're trying to rush through whatever they can as fast as they can in the time that they have. And I don't think that most of it is going to stick. That's my thinking. You know, it's sort of like, have you ever had a property that somebody foreclosed on, or you've had rental property where the people get evicted, and before they leave, they totally trash the place? You know that phenomenon, right? Have you ever seen the foreclosures where you go in and the people just completely destroyed the place? They put holes in the wall. They let their animals go to the bathroom all over the floor. They left rotten food in the refrigerator. They never cleaned the toilets. They let, mold grow on the walls. Didn't fix the plumbing. That kind of thing, like the foreclosure from hell. I have real estate agents here. You know what I'm talking about. This is what I feel like is happening. That these people are that these people are living the mindset of the evicted and the foreclosed, because they know their days are numbered. They know the sheriff is on his way to evict them, to escort them out. And so they're just leaving a path of destruction. They're like, let the kids draw on the wallpaper. Rip the wallpaper down. I don't care. Let the dog chew the baseboards. Whatever. We're leaving. We're out of here. Just destroy as much as you can. Let the dog dig holes in the wall. Who cares? It's not ours. That's what they're doing. Let's throw another $1 trillion to terrorists in the Middle East. Who cares? Whatever. It's their money. Let these schleprocks pay for it. That's what they're doing. So it's that mindset. It's the foreclosure mindset. Somebody brings up a good point on Facebook. Like, why are you doing executive orders if you control all houses, all branches of government, even the judiciary? It looks like at this point. So um, I just think it's really interesting. Listen, I don't know all the answers, and I don't know. I don't have every answer, right? I don't know everything. I don't have like super secret inside intel. But here's another thing. We know that for the past three some years, almost 4 years, that there has been a certain group of people that have been posting information and questions and thoughts and ideas that have gotten people to really start thinking. Some people refer to them as military intelligence insiders. And there are people cropping up all over the place now to say that they were completely wrong, that there is no plan, and that everybody was completely duped, and that the people who supported Trump have been had. And that's kind of interesting. But the other thing that's interesting is that the media is repeatedly right now in full on discredit mode, and they're trying to discredit that movement. And so that brings me to another question, which is why? Why would anyone invest even a little bit of oxygen or a little bit of ink into trying to discredit a movement that, according to them, was completely off base, that had zero credibility, that led people astray, and that lied to people? Can somebody explain that to me? If there is no power in that movement and in the information that came out of that, or the eventuality of a plan coming into place, how come, why is anybody paying attention to it? Why are we still seeing articles? Why are people trying to get the DOJ and the FBI to investigate people that are involved in that movement? I don't understand. If it's a big nothing burger, why does anybody care? That's my question. Why? And on that note, if the people who are voted for Trump, which I believe is over 80 million, if if those people voted for Trump, then if those people who voted for Trump were wrong, and there was no election fraud, and everybody was just being sore losers, and they were making stuff up, and they were pulling evidence out of thin air, if it all came to nothing, and it was just, it's over, move on, then how come the censorship is worse today than it was a week ago. Why do they care? Why do they care? What do they have to lose by letting people have that conversation? They don't want anybody to have any conversation. Why? Why are places still locked down? Why are people still keeping their churches closed? Why is the Rona um, forcing people still to keep from communicating? Because you know that when you go to the store and you're in line and you're near somebody and you're waiting to check out, you strike up a conversation. You know that when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you eat and you start talking to people and you tell your friends and you say, here's what's really happened. Check out, go to antifi.com, see what happens when you click that link, things like that. They know that when you go to church and you're having coffee and cookies afterward and you're talking to your friends, or you go to the fellowship meal on Wednesday night, that you're going to talk to your friends and that you're going to tell them and they're going to tell their friend and they're going to tell their friend. They know that. And so if there's nothing to tell, if everything was a complete lie and our president was indeed a loser, what do they care? Why are they now telling people to double mask? I'm just telling you the questions that are going through my mind. I'm just putting food for thought out there, right? That's just food for thought. You do with it what you think. But my observations so far are that there's a reason that they're so scared. There's a reason that um, there's a reason that they are um, going scorched earth. Okay, I'm looking at Remy's comment on YouTube, and I'm going to encourage you to get out of that negative track that you're on, because you're looking at glass half full, and you've been watching me long enough to know that the way that you think and the things that you believe really make a difference. So there's more to this than meets the eye. It looks like the question is, we can't fight the military if Biden has them. How do you know that he has them? Okay. So defeatist attitude is not going to get us anywhere. All right. Um, so yeah, I mean, we've got Dr. Death sitting there telling us now double mask. He was saying in March, nobody needs to wear that during a pandemic. It's just silly. I mean, you touch your face and it might make you feel better, but it doesn't really do anything. Right. And now he's going, maybe we should double mask. Seriously? Flip flop. That's all he is, Dr. Death. I mean, come on. So why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? These are just my questions. And these are questions to ask your friends. Say, well, if he legit won, then why is he doing everything he can think of to destroy your life? Why are your gas prices up by 25% in a week? I thought he was your guy, right? He was your guy. Are they up to 3 masks? That was quick. Um, Double masks went into effect at noon today. Well, the good news is I took my dad to the grocery store today and we didn't get shamed. Nobody yelled at us. It wasn't very crowded, thank God, and there was no mask shaming going on. So, win for us. It's just so horrible when people do that. Um, Pentagon and military don't want anything to do with him because he's not the president. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I just think it's, yeah. I mean, I, I'm just telling you my thoughts, you know? And here's the thing. I'm just laughing at your comments. He said 2 are good, 3 is better. That's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing. Yeah. Yeah, and the whole impeachment thing, like nobody showed up. Imagine holding an impeachment and nobody comes. Hey guys, we're having an impeachment for Orange Man because Orange Man bad. and nobody comes. I mean, how embarrassing would that be, right? Oops. Sent out invitations for an impeachment and nobody comes. I mean, you have to laugh because the they're turning on themselves, right? And God is turning this around in such a way that you just have to start laughing because we're coming into a time of victory. And I really do believe that we are going to see prosperity and happiness and healthiness, not just in America, but in the nations. I really do believe that. I believe that there is going to be a transfer of wealth back to the people. I do. I do. And it really, is it easy to see that? No, it's not. But it is but it's never easy to see when when the enemy wants you to see giants, right? And I was thinking about this. I titled my broadcast today Giants because one of the things that has been happening. I'm just laughing. Hold on a second. My employer wants to give us electronic bracelets that vibrate if we're closer than 6 feet. You could just hack them, get somebody to hack them and have them vibrate like every 5 seconds, and hack the boss's bracelet so they vibrate like every 3 seconds. That would just be the best thing. I mean, I could just see like, oh my gosh. So, right, let me go back to what I was saying about giants. And um yeah, so we are going to be dancing in the streets, and the thing is that God has a way of turning everything around, and it's just like Haman's gallows. If you ever read the story of Esther, that the Haman was the one who wanted to kill all of the Jews, and he wanted to put them on the gallows, and he ended up being the one who hanged from the gallows. That's the very short version of that story. But I think that you should go read it, read the book of Esther, and see what happened to the people who wanted to touch God's anointed. And it's a very interesting story. But here's the thing that uh, when we're facing giants, we're facing what look like insurmountable giants. We're facing people that are tyrants that literally want to put like a tracking bracelet on you. Are you kidding me? No. And so this is and that's just a small sample, right? We're facing a person who is ruling by fiat, who has cranked out 37 executive orders in a week, that is going scorched earth on America, and aligning with all of our enemies and making our allies mad in less than a week. And so it looks insurmountable. And if you think about history, if you think about all of the times that America and the world has faced what look like insurmountable giants, the story turns out the other way, which is that we are actually the giants. And I think that if you understand that, if you think about the people who really walked with faith, who kept going, who didn't give in, who trusted God, who knew and believed that everything that it always seems impossible till it's done, right? That nothing is impossible with God, that there's no single thing that's not possible with God. Then what happens is that everything turns, and the very people that the enemy meant to destroy become the giants. And I want to encourage you about that because you have that in you. That is your destiny, is to walk as a giant, as a giant in the faith, as a giant in belief. Because we're coming into a time where people need to see the giants. They need to see the giants in faith, not the giants of fear and control and manipulation. That's not who God is. And so, we've seen a lot of people fall away. We've seen a lot of pastors fall away. We've seen a lot of people who were supposedly Republicans, supported the president. They've just fallen off the bandwagon. And what God is doing right now is raising up the giants. And so every single person has an opportunity to be a giant and to come through this as a giant in the faith. I think that that is I think that that is really where he's calling us to be, you know? And if you think about, if you look at the story of Joshua and Caleb and the spies who went into the promised land to spy it out, and they came back and they gave the report, and they said, we 12 sorry 10 of the spies said, nope, can't do it, the giants, they're too big, we can't, we no, nope, not gonna work. And then Joshua and Caleb said, this is awesome, everything there is amazing, we can take this because it's God's will. God has given this land into our hands. And so they actually became the giants of the faith, and they're the ones whose names we know because they believed God, and they didn't let the physical giants that they saw with their eyes deter them from walking in faith and belief in what God had already said was going to happen. And we don't know the names really of those other people, but we know Joshua and Caleb. And so what God is saying right now in this time is that he's raising up giants who face giants and who face them down with faith. And so we're actually the giants of faith who are walking in a place where we can't be destroyed. That's really what this time is for. I really believe it. What do you think? What do you think? It's pretty exciting. It's a pretty exciting time because you're being pressed in your faith. You're being pressed. You're being squeezed. You're being challenged. You're being challenged with the things that your eyes see. But God is saying, you are a giant. You're a giant in faith. And that's what I'm making you into. We do have victory. Oh yeah, we're not I'm looking at the chat now. Um Somebody said they miss the president. Yeah, we do. We miss him. But he is he's resting. I think he's resting up. He's not finished. And apparently he's not resting that much because now he's having a meeting tomorrow. I have a feeling he's been having a lot of meetings. He's not one of those people that's just going to lay around and binge watch on Netflix even when he's resting, right? But his silence doesn't mean that he's done. So just be aware of that. And I've told you that before. When you're deep state cabal, quiet Trump is scary Trump. Okay, when you're out there, you know, running a scorched earth policy and trying to destroy everything in your path, uh, and the president isn't really saying anything, I'd be worried. Yeah, I'd be worried about that because I know that it's hard not to hear from him, but that's driving certain people crazy. So just go back and read all his other tweets. They're all on Gab. They archived them. You can also look in the Twitter archives. They're not gone. And you can just go back and watch his speeches. Go back and watch the one that said this speech will get Donald Trump elected. That one is so good. And if you go back and listen to the words in that and the things that he's saying, he's talking about the a failed system and talking about returning power to the people, and he's talking about taking all the slings and arrows for you, and he's been doing that, right? So I don't think that well, it's not over, but he's just in a different phase right now. Okay. But it's not over. You miss his beautiful head of hair. Yeah. um exactly. um yeah, I'm just laughing about those bracelets. Yeah, this will get Trump. This speech will get Donald Trump elected. That's the one. Go back and listen to that. That he, knowing what we know now, he tells you a lot of what has already happened and what's going to happen. So there's no way, based on everything that he has said and all of his speeches and everything he said over the last 2 months, that he's done. There just isn't. Not done. Okay. So let me look at your comments here, and then I'm going to sign off. I will be back tomorrow at 5 Eastern. It is a little boring without him, isn't it? Yeah. But he's not gone forever. Even he said that. So uh okay. Okay. Any questions before I go? Yeah, Pat Cox on YouTube is saying that his speeches have so much more meaning now than ever. Yeah, I would actually encourage you to go back and listen to his speeches. I really would, because you're gonna start hearing things that you didn't hear before. So go to RSBN. I think that they covered all of his campaign speeches. I don't know where all of his speeches are archived, but it's part of the presidential record. So I don't think they can delete all of that. Even some of those coronavirus task force meetings, even though they drive you crazy, a lot of the things that he said during those talks and during his part of it was very telling. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is also that he said back in uh back in oh, hey Cindy, can you message me? That would be great. Back in March, or no, it wasn't March, it was like April. He said, I guess you would say that I'm a wartime president. Anna said she saved all the speeches. Is that right? Ooh, okay. Maybe you could publish them. Put them up on Rumble or BitChute. But he said he was a wartime president, and that wasn't. I don't. That wasn't just for the virus. That was actually we've been at war since 9/11. Am I wrong about that? So his um yeah. So the things that he's been doing, I really truly believe is part of a much bigger plan. I do. You don't have to believe that, but I do. And I think we're going to see it play out more and more and more in the coming weeks and months. I do. Somebody's asking, did you know that Mar-a-Lago was called the Winter White House? It was a government property for a long time. It has bunkers and a skiff. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. That's very interesting, isn't it? Really interesting. And now he's open to the office of the former president. Just very interesting. Yeah, the speeches are very encouraging. So, yeah, I mean, just go back and do that. I mean, we all miss him. We all miss him, but he's not gone. He's just taking a break, you know. This is his way right now of trolling. This is his way of trolling the deep state. You get that, right? They don't know what to do without him. I mean, just yeah, think about that. He's trolling them by his silence. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you to my moderators on YouTube. I appreciate that for posting my links. So before I go, I talked about this in the beginning, but some of you weren't here. We are starting a new superfoods transformation, and that is going to be it starts next week. We have coaching. We have some coaching calls with superfoods experts, with people who've done a lot of transformation, who've seen amazing results with our superfoods. And so some of you have already written to me about that. Some of you are sort of on the fence. Maybe it wasn't the right time for you to get your superfoods. go ahead and do that so that you can jump in with this. You can still use the voucher that I gave you. If for some reason you lost the information and you need it again, send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com. But what you're getting when you jump into our transformation is you're getting 60 organic, non GMO superfoods delivered right to your door. And it is going to give you an opportunity to do a reset. So, a nutritional reset, a mental reset, resetting your habits. And, it's not true that you have to do all of your New Year's resolutions by the second week of January. Make a lifestyle transformation like a lot of people already have, and just get the benefits of these superfoods in your body. Make sure you email me, info@marygracemedia.com, because I'm going to give you a voucher to save $100 or more off of that full month supply. So think about that, 60 complete superfoods meals that are coming to your door, and you're saving off of retail on that. So it's a really good deal. And Delia is in the chat right now, and she's actually reached her goal of losing 60 pounds. She's on the what do you call it, YouTube chat, and she's going to start running again next month because she's a marathon runner, and she's been working up to walking, and she just went through a major move, and she's lost 60 pounds. So if you are, and I've got a couple of other people in chat too who've had some really good weight loss, they've reached some really significant goals. Greg Harvey is on the superfoods, and his goal is 75 pounds, and he's actually doing really well on that. And I think today he said his shoes are loose. I told him, when you start losing weight, your shoes are going to get loose. And he said that today. He's like, my shoes are officially loose. But even if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, the superfoods are tremendous. I use them every day, and I'm not, I don't have 75 pounds to lose. That would be problematic if I did that. But it's just amazing. So just just make sure that you contact me. And oh, Heather just said 7 pounds in the first 21 days. That's amazing. Yeah. Um, that's really good. Yeah. And it's a really safe way to lose weight because you're not hungry, you're not having these blood sugar dips, you're putting really good nutrition, and you're eating food. A lot of people ask about that. So just be rest assured that there's never a time when you're not eating food. You're actually putting the most optimal nutrition in your body with the superfoods. So info@marygracemedia.com. If that's not your jam and you don't want to do superfoods, but you still want to support my channel, you can go to my website, marygracemedia.com, and click on support. I have a Venmo link and I have a Give Butter link, so you can do that as well. And you can do a monthly pledge, and you can just partner with me in that way, just so that we can keep this thing going. Oh gosh, I'm looking at the chat on YouTube. Franklin said he's down 42.6 pounds in 90 days. That's amazing. That's so good. And it's a very safe way to lose weight, isn't it? One thing that Franklin said recently that I thought was really interesting is that I think you said that you had some procedures scheduled, maybe even surgery, but then when the inflammation started to go down, the pain wasn't there, right? Isn't that basically what you said? Which I think is amazing because a lot of people don't realize how many problems are caused just by inflammation in your body. Joe is saying, I've lost 12 pounds, just about to finish the first month. You guys, that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, how many of you have tried, you know, this and that and the other, and, everybody, like, it's like a new diet every year, right? And then I've had so many people tell me, like, when I get on the superfoods, it changed everything. I just, I don't have to keep looking because I found what I needed. Yeah, pretty amazing. How do you get the food? Send me a message, info@marygracemedia.com. Chris on YouTube, send me a message, info@marygracemedia.com, and I'll send you a little explainer video, and then your voucher will come with that. And then you can just click and order. It's great. And so, if you order today or tomorrow, you're going to get your superfoods by next week. And that'll be great because you can come into some of our live sessions and make sure you get in on the coaching. And that's really valuable. Info@marygracemedia.com. So listen, I will be back tomorrow and I'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and CloutHub. And please make sure before we go on YouTube that you hit the thumbs up, that you smash that thumbs up button. You can only do it once because if you do it twice, it takes it away. On Facebook, you can do it more than once. Hit the hearts, hit the positive things on Facebook, and then please do share the link into groups that you belong to. I can't believe they're suppressing me, but then again, I can because that's what they do. But we're not going to receive it because the good word and the encouragement has to get out to everybody. So send my link to everybody that you know and just tell them, hey, take a look at this. This is going to encourage you. Get off the fake news, turn off the media, and listen to this. That's what we want people to do. We want people to stay encouraged because God is doing a work and it's not going to stop even though the fake news is telling us something else. And there's a lot of other people broadcasting who are giving you doom and gloom. So just come back here. Let's stay positive. Let's focus on what God is doing and agree with that because our country is not lost. One more thing about Cloud Hub, make sure that when you're on Cloud Hub, you go to channels and you go to 111 and you hit watch now and then you hit subscribe, put in your email. You'll get notified when I go live on Cloud Hub. And I think they're working on the chat over there. So I think it's going to be better, more interactive, more robust. It's a newer platform. So just give them time. And I'm also on Gab at Mary Grace Media. I'm on Instagram as well. So follow me there. Everybody have a great evening, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's great to be here and to be with all of you. And thank you for all of my moderators for your hard work. I appreciate it.